Morning, parents. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, maybe a few more minutes, just to allow those that are wanting to join us to go ahead and sign on. Like I said, I'm gonna wait just a minute or two more, and then I'm gonna go ahead and start this presentation. Okay, again, good morning and thank you for joining me here today. Today is Friday, May 20th, 2022. This first slide is instructions and Zoom etiquette, just in case any of you guys have not been, this is your first time in the Zoom meeting. Here are a little bit of instructions. So first of all, please type your first name and last name, as well as your child's name on the comment section. If you don't know how to go ahead and do that, you click on the little bubble that says chat. So you click on chat, you type in your first and your last name, as well as your child's name. So I'm going to go ahead and do it myself. First and last. And I'm going to list my children. Evan, Nathan, and Peyton. Give you a little bit of time to go ahead and do that. And I'll put those instructions on the comment, the chat section, just so those that are entering late will be able to know, because I am going to move on from this slide. Along with our instructions, there is some Zoom etiquette requirements pretty much. So during this presentation, I do ask for everybody to mute your microphone, just so we can eliminate any excessive or unnecessary background noise. Please turn on your cameras if you are joining us here today, just so I can see who is with us. And last but not least, this is something that not just in Zoom etiquette, but I think this is something that is very important with everyday life. Be respectful of others, please. Feel free to use the button to raise your hand. There's a section where a little button on the bottom that it has a little hand icon. If you have a question, you can go ahead and click on that, and I'll be responding to you if I see that you have a question or you need assistance. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the presentation. So this training opportunity is titled Child Growth and Development. It is a guide, or this is a guide, and there are resources for parents within this PowerPoint. So again, my name is, if you guys are not familiar with who I am, Audrey Almaraz. I'm the director and the owner of Sunnyside Child Development Center. So our table of contents, we will be going over child growth and development. We will also be going over social emotional development, as well as I will be providing you parental educational resources. The table of contents is for you to refer back to for easier access to a slide that you need to go back to. So starting off with child growth and development. What is child growth and development? So how children grow and develop depend on both internal and external environmental factors, some of which we have no control over. Having a good understanding of what children need at each stage of their growth and development helps us raise them better. How are growth and development defined? Although the terms growth and development are used synonymously, they have different meanings biologically. Growth refers to the incremental changes in physical characteristics, such as height, weight, size, etc. While development refers to qualitative changes to growth in an orderly and meaningful fashion, which results in maturity. Growth and development contribute to each other, are inseparable, and occur simultaneously. For example, most babies, by the time they grow up to be 8 months old, can weigh around 17 to 22 pounds and can sit up on their own. Now, nature and nurture both contribute to the growth and development of children. Although nature contributes much to the growth and development of children, nurture contributes much more. And this is in my opinion. Nurture definition at the bottom of the slide, you can see is the process of caring for and encouraging the growth or development of someone or something. So it's the process, and the big word here is encouraging. So that means the parent is the one that is going to be doing the encouraging, not just the parent, you know, us as caregivers as well, the teachers as well. But you are the number one person in that child's life. So an example, the stages of development up here on the right corner of the upper right corner of the slide, stages of development. So we have infancy, that is birth to 12 months. The toddler stage is 12 months old to 3 months old. The preschool stage is next, and that is a 3-year-old to 6 years old. Up next would be the school age stage, that is 6 years to 12 years old. And lastly is the adolescence stage, and that is 13 years old to 18 years old. And here are images of each stage. Child growth and development, familial influence. So families have the most profound impact in nurturing a child and determining the ways in which they develop psychologically and socially. Whether they are raised by their parents, grandparents, or foster care, all children need basic love, care, and courtesy to develop as healthy, functional individuals. The most positive growth is seen when families invest time, energy, and love in the development of the child through activities such as reading to them, playing with them, and having deep, meaningful conversations. The conversations with these children, I feel, is the most important. I mean, communication between mom and child, or grandparents and child, aunt or uncle and child. That's something that helps build their vocabulary, and we can see, we can tell when a child is spoken to often, and that's a really good thing, and I do want to praise parents for doing that. But on the other hand, we do have families, unfortunately, that abuse or neglect children, and that would affect their positive development. It does affect them negatively. These children may end up as individuals who have poor social skills and difficulty bonding with other people as adults. And that is something that we want to avoid. We want to avoid with your children. Here at our center, we push communication a lot. So there is a lot of discussion, a lot of talking with your children. And I feel like communication is key. It's important. Other than child growth and development, we also have social and emotional development. Social and emotional development means how children start to understand who they are, what they are feeling, and what to expect when interacting with others. To the right are a few tips on how to interact with your child to assist them with their social and emotional needs and development. So a few examples: touch your child lovingly and often, cuddle with them, comfort them, massage them, sing or sign a song to your child. Engage in turn-taking games such as patty cake, peekaboo, tickle games, and making faces at one another. Build predictable routines. Routines are going to be, it's a lifesaver, having a routine for your child. Set a time where the child goes to bed. The routines that happen prior to going to bed. Those help make life easy, because children on a schedule, children on a routine, they already know what to expect. They know what comes next, and it makes life a lot easier for child and for parents. Respond to emotional states with understanding and calmness. Recognize your role in your child's well-being. Use language to describe your feelings and those of your child. Build a strong vocabulary of words or signs for emotions. That goes for, and a lot of the times, and we see it here with our pre-toddler class, and that is your 1-year-old. They don't have a lot of means of communication verbally, as opposed to the other classrooms. So let's say, for example, the toddler room, where the children are 2, 3, 4 on the preschool room, they're able to use their words in order to express their emotions. These little ones in the pre-toddler room, they're 1 year old, they're 1-year-olds, and it's difficult for them to communicate their emotions, their feelings. And we do want to avoid the fighting, the biting. The biting is a big one, that we don't want that happening with our children. Of course, we want to create a safe environment for them. And I'm not saying that it's the children's fault, but they need to be taught. They need to be redirected, and that's what we're here for. We do ask that you as parents also do your part at your house. And please, I know some of them are maybe only children in the household, but whenever you're around cousins, friends, if you can just go ahead and watch them, and please, redirect them when possible, when and if they are doing something that maybe they're not supposed to. Look for your child's pleasure in accomplishing new things, and let him or her know that it brings you pleasure. So praise is a number one thing. It's super important. And to me, I push that a lot. Children want to do for you. Children want to make you happy. Your children want to see that you're accepting them, and that you are proud of them. So even as adults, praise is huge to me. Even me being praised as an adult, I mean, it makes me feel so good. Knowing that what we're doing, all the effort that we put into whatever it is that we do, is not going unnoticed. And I'm sure children feel the same way. Read stories and talk about the emotions of others. Provide opportunities for your child to play with other children, and observe how your child engages with others. That's very important. Observing how your child is engaging with other children. Now, some of you guys, like I said, might have only children in the household. And what we see when the children come into our environment, obviously they're going to engage with other children. Now, we do like to do observations and assessments using a developmental checklist. And with that, that will be next in the slides coming up. And I'll talk to you more about that as we continue this presentation. But please do that. Observe your child when they're engaging with other children, maybe in the park, maybe at your sister's house, your in-laws' house, wherever there are other children, just so you can see how they are going about the interacting, whether it be positive, negative, so on and so forth. Play with your child as often as possible. Experience the joy of parenthood. They're going to be small for a very short time. They're going to be an adult for many, many years. I know it's tough. I have 4 myself. It's pretty difficult trying to, divide your attention, play with them. You energyless. But I always look back and think, no, my babies are growing so fast. I need to enjoy them while I can. Interact with diverse, deaf, and hard of hearing adults. So it's good to interact with, maybe to introduce the children to somebody who is disabled. It opens up their mind, and it allows them to be understanding and accepting of others. So a child's development lays the foundation for relationships with others. Development milestones checklist. This is the one that I was talking to you about. So developmental milestones are behaviors and skills that most children demonstrate at a given age. Developmental checklists help our teachers assess and observe their students individually. The checklist consists of typical development progress at that specific age. Your child's teacher will provide you with this assessment at least twice annually. So on the right, we do see an example of a developmental checklist, and this is from the Children's Learning Institute from CLI. This specific one is 9 to 12 months. So for a child who's 9 to 12 months, we're going to go through different domains. So there's the health and motor, social, emotional, cognitive, and language and literacy. So what the teachers do is they go ahead and they observe the children, and it says child's name, administrator's name, dates of administration. So this checklist can be done within 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, several times, because we're not going to be able to, or teachers not going to be able to observe all of these things that are listed in one day. Sometimes it's difficult to do that. So for example, for a 9 to 12-month-old, changes positions without help. So between crawling, sitting, standing, if the teacher observes your child do that, then they go ahead and they check mark it. Waves bye-bye, claps hands, recognizes name, repeats sounds and actions that get attention or laughter. So things that the children are able to do, the teacher will check mark. Now, if it's something that it's not check marked, and you observe that behavior at home, feel free to go ahead and check mark it. The child might not be doing some things here at the daycare as they are at the house. So like I said, feel free to go ahead and check mark those. Now, if the teacher does check mark anything in this bottom section where it says red flags, then that means to, it's again a red flag. Pay attention to possible signs of developmental delay. Doesn't crawl, that's something that might be, something that you want to mention to the doctor. So what I do tell parents is when the teacher does give you this report, this developmental checklist, it is important, and I would suggest that the next time that you take your child to the doctor, you do take this list with you. They do have physical examinations. The children have to have those at certain ages or months old, and it's important that you do give this to them, because we, for the most part, are with your child the majority of the day, during the day. So it's important that you do share this with them. So if in case your child is showing possible signs of developmental delay, they do get the help that they need. Now, it is important to note that all children develop differently. It's not fair to compare your child to another child that's the same age. Everybody is different. This screening tool does not provide a diagnosis, but it does indicate if a child is on the right development track. So I am not a doctor. The teachers are not doctors. We're not trying to be doctors. We are just trying to aid you in the observation of your children's development. So we want to make sure that they're on track. And like I said, if it's something that they don't meet, there's red flags on the checklist that you're given, then no hard feelings. We're not trying to say that your child is disabled or anything. It's just more so that we feel that you might be pushing to inform the doctor about that. So milestones matter. Let's talk about them. And these are just really quick examples. So milestones at 4 months, the child should be able to babble, respond to affection. An example for a 9-month-old, has a favorite toy, understands the word no. Milestones at 2 years, begins to run, begins to sort and shape colors. Very important milestone at 3 years old, the child should know their name and their age, and should be able to climb and run as well. So the rest of the presentation is going to be resources that you can use. So these are parent educational resources. So the first one that I'm going to be talking to you guys about is our food program. Breastfeeding is another topic, oral health and health benefits. So let's go ahead and move on to the food program. So a food program here at our center. Eating nutritious foods and learning good mealtime behaviors are important for all children. Mealtimes can also be an opportunity for learning and developing social and motor skills and being introduced to new foods. Skills such as hand washing, table manners, and carrying on a conversation at the dinner table will be introduced to each child. Age-appropriate skills will be encouraged as well. Now, we at Sunnyside Child Development Center are sponsored by GeoSun Childcare Services, Inc., in providing those nutritional meals to our students. The following meals are provided. So what we do provide is breakfast, lunch, PM snack, and supper. And it's important for us that we do provide those nutritional meals for the nutritionist meals for the children. We want for them to be able to hit all of those food groups. Now, another topic we have here is breastfeeding. A meaningful benefit of having your child care near your work site is the opportunity for a new mother to breastfeed throughout the day. If you are a nursing mother, we will be more than happy to make arrangements for you to visit your infant at any time of the day. We will provide a designated room with a rocking chair and access to an electrical outlet in case you need to pump your breast milk. If the center is not at a convenient distance from your workplace for nursing visits, please feel free to supply us with express milk to feed your baby. Our infant teacher, Miss Viviana, is educated on how to store, handle, and prepare breast milk. This next slide is just resources that WIC is providing. So WIC is partnering and they are providing these trainings, breastfeeding education for healthcare providers and the community providers. So there are online continuing education opportunities, there's in-person continuing education trainings, and then there's trainings by request. So here's the information, contact information. Over here, we have our breastfeeding resources. So our lactation hotline for the state of Texas, websites here, texas10step.org, breastmilkcounts.org. Those are also, those are links in order for you to gain some extra resources. And then we have WIC lactation support centers. So McAllen would be our lactation care center, RGV, that would be our resource. So on our next health benefit, we do have oral health. So start children off with good habits from a young age. Encourage them to maintain great oral hygiene for their entire lifetime. Their overall health benefits and you save money in the long term by avoiding many issues that require expensive treatment. So it's important that from birth and through infancy, as young as an infant, that you already start teaching your child about oral health and the benefits of oral health. So over here on our on the image to the right, it says from birth, make sure baby has a nutritious diet to ensure good tooth development and prevent cavities. Through infancy, rub baby's gums clean daily with a wet piece of soft gauze or damp washcloth within a few days of birth. From baby's first tooth, the first tooth means it's time for the baby's first annual dental visit. Teeth usually poke through between 6 and 12 months. Through age 2, to prevent teeth from tipping forward or growing in crooked, wean pacifier use no later than 2 years old. Toddler years, brush your kiddo's teeth with a child-sized brush and smear a fluoride toothpaste. Early childhood, 3+ years, under parent supervision, have children brush with the pea-sized dollop of fluoride toothpaste 2 times a day and visit a dentist twice a year. Throughout childhood, avoid sharing utensils, forks, and spoons, cups, and straws with your children to prevent the spread of bacteria that might cause cavities. Adolescence, as soon as permanent molars come in, children can have sealants applied to prevent tooth decay. Sealants can be reapplied every 10 years. And then for teens and beyond, unless your dentist recommends otherwise, continue taking your teen twice a year for checkups for a lifetime of good dental habits and savings. Now, one thing that we do, this is, I attached a video here, and this video we do share with the children. The children know this video by heart, but I feel like this is a very good video in order to educate your children. It keeps them engaged. They're very entertained with you know, the toothbrush, the little sugar monster, as well as the tooth. They love this video, and it's something that they enjoy. So I'm gonna go ahead and play it just so you guys can see it, and it'll help motivate your child to brush their teeth.
Brush me, I have to be sorry.
Oh, some lemonade.
It's dinner time. Brush you away.
The kids love that video. They know it by heart. Last but not least, this is the very last slide. This is the health benefits. So there are some programs in Texas that I did not know about, and I felt that this resource would be super helpful for parents. I know it says helpful programs and services Medicaid. Now, not everybody qualifies for Medicaid, but there are other programs. Let's say, for example, I know a familiar one is CHIP, right? But there's, let me see, I know there was another one. Give me a second. Oh, well, okay, so we have CHIP, right? So CHIP is for children ages 18 and younger. It is an insurance program for families who earn too much money to get Medicaid, but cannot pay for private insurance. So it's important to know about these different resources that are out there for parents in Texas. Family planning services, child support enforcement services, Healthy Texas Women, Head Start and Early Head Start. We are also similar to when Head Start, because there are new and exciting news or things that are coming to our daycare within this next school year. The next presentation, I will be sharing that info with you. I'm super excited, but I'll leave it at that for now. So there is Head Start and Early Head Start, but we are similar to a Head Start. There is SNAP, ECI, so early childhood intervention. This is really important. But ECI helps children birth to 36 months of age with disabilities or delays in growth or learning. ECI services help children reach their full potential. So here is the link. This is the URL link in order to gain more information or insight to early childhood intervention. So if you are a parent who has received a checklist that has red flags on their child's milestone developmental checklist, then you might want to look into ECI, again, early childhood intervention. They might be able to help you. There might be some services that would be useful for you. And then call 211 or visit 211texas.org to learn more about the programs. And that should be it for this presentation. Are there any questions? Now, what I'm going to do, since there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and I am recording this session. I'm recording this presentation. I will make it available to the parents through our website, sunnysidecdc.com. I'm also going to see if I can make it available through our Brightwheel app. And if there aren't any questions, then we're going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you.